No, it's emergency?
Hi, this is Julie Beverly.
Okay.
Came over there and like someone broke into my house.
Okay, listen, calm down. Listen to me, calm down. You said someone had broken into your house?
Yeah, somebody broke in. They were running out as I was coming home from my stepdaughter.
Okay.
She's dead.
Jade Beasley was just 11 years old.
Yeah,
that afternoon, she should have been getting ready
it's
for a
hard
birthday
to say.
party.
I mean,
Instead,
we've never had
the day
anything
took
where
a
they've gone
devastating
after
turn.
anybody.
According to her
But a
stepmother,
lot of times
Julia
they
Beverly,
do try to run if
she
the
had
front
left Jade
door's
home
open.
alone for only a few minutes.
So
But when
a lot
she
of times
returned,
if someone over,
she
someone
claimed she
usually put
walked
them
into
out.
every family's worst nightmare.
But,
She reported finding the
I
front
mean,
door open, an
they
unknown
bark,
man
they'll
fleeing the
go
house with a
out,
knife,
they do their
and
thing,
Jade critically injured inside.
but, yeah,
On the surface,
they usually
it
are pretty
appered to be a
protective.
tragic home invasion. But as investigators examined the scene,
Smokey
the evidence
is
told
at
a
least
very
10.
different story. There were no obvious
Rocky,
signs of forced entry.
he's
Nothing
just
appeared to have
24.
been stolen. And despite Julia's account,
No, I'm sorry, he's
detectives
26.
found no confirmed evidence that an intruder had ever
When
been
you
there.
left the house, do
The
you
more
normally lock the
investigators
doors
looked,
or
the
keep
more
them unlocked?
Julia's version of events began to
We usually
unravel.
lock the
Her
bottom
trip to the
lock,
store, the
'cause
timeline she
it's not always
described,
easier to
and the
just lock
mysterious
as we're
man
leaving.
dressed in black.
Instead
Instead of providing
we
answers,
usually,
each detail
lock at
raised
night,
even more
go to bed,
questions.
stuff like that.
So detectives
Do you
brought
remember if you
Julia
locked
into
the
the
doors
interrogation
before you
room,
left?
where every statement she made would be carefully
I'm
examined,
pretty sure I
because
locked
there
the
was
bottom,
one thing her story could never
but I'm
outrun.
really not sure.
Time to
That's the
explain
doorknob?
every
Yeah.
decision.
Okay.
Time to
And that's
repeat
normal?
every
How you
detail.
guys normally-
Time for
Yeah.
small inconsistencies
Do you know
to
of
become
anybody else
impossible
that
to
might
ignore.
have a key
And
to
as
the
the interview
residence?
unfolded,
The
the
only other
mysterious
ones
man in
is,
black would
Mike's
slowly begin
parents.
to disappear.
All right. Can you start from the beginning, what you saw and what happened?
I left to go to the store in Carbondale. By the time I got to Carbondale, I realized I didn't have my cards with me. I turned around and came back home. Whenever I got home, I saw the front door was open. As I went to go in, he came out, and I tried to grab the knife from him, and at that time, just multiple things, just trying to grab him and stuff, and got cuts on my hand. At that point, he just ran off. I ran in the house, saw blood everywhere. I ran to my bathroom to grab my rag. I wiped my hand real quick because it was bleeding, and I ran to go find Jade. That's when I found her in the bathroom, and I touched her to check for pulse or anything, and I couldn't really tell. Saw all the wounds on her, and that's whenever I called 911, and then police showed up after that point. But I mean, that's all that I know happened.
Okay. And you say that when you got there, the door was ajar. Was that the
main door?
The main door?
The screen door was closed.
Okay.
And when I went to open the screen door is when he came out.
Okay. And can you describe him for us?
Just black clothes. I mean, average built, maybe a little muscular, couldn't really tell. He had like a ski mask, so I could see from here, so I could tell he was white. And then he was a little taller than me, maybe a few inches or so. But I mean, that's about all I can really tell about him.
Do you remember what he was wearing, like shirt and pants, or do you know? Do you recall what he was wearing?
No, I just noticed that it was black, dark colors. That's all I could really tell. I'd say like a hoodie jacket or something, but that's about it.
Okay. How about shoes? Any shoe wear that you remember?
No, I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay. How about the knife? When you went in the door, can you start with a description of how you guys encountered?
Well, he was running out as I was going in. That's when I went to grab the knife. It was definitely big. I mean, it's not like a pocket knife. It was a big knife. So I'm not really sure. But
can you describe it? Like color, length?
Not sure on the length. I mean, it looked like a basic knife. Looks like a kitchen knife, but it was not like a steak knife, but I don't know what they are. Like the wider knives. So it was a wide one, but not like skinny like a steak knife.
Okay. You mean the blade was wider?
Yes, the blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then when you saw Jade, how was she when you first noticed her?
She was in the tub. She was kind of like slumped over the tub. I didn't move her a lot, just enough to where I could try to check her pulse and stuff, but she was just, I don't know, just slumped over. It looked like she'd been sitting in the tub.
Okay, so she was in the tub?
Yes.
Okay. And she was slumped over?
Yeah, like head forward, slumped over.
All right. And what did you notice on Jade? How?
I could see her back. I could tell the wounds on her back right away. I mean, that was the first thing I noticed and saw. She was wet, like she'd been in the tub, like not just sitting, but like her whole body was wet. So almost like she had been laying at one point.
Okay.
But because her hair was wet.
Okay.
Her whole body outfit was wet.
So she was clothed while in the tub? It's not like she was in the shower taking a bath or in the shower?
She was clothed. She had her pajamas on.
Okay. Do you recall what pajamas she was wearing?
Not really sure.
Okay.
Something like pink.
Okay.
So I didn't really know.
Like a pink top and pink bottom? Or, I mean, was it one outfit?
Like a gown.
Okay. All right. Just a gown type of pajamas?
Yeah.
All right. And then is that when you called 911?
Yes, I tried to check for her pulse. I said I don't really know how. I just tried best I could.
Where did you check for a pulse?
On her neck.
On her neck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I couldn't really find anything, so I called 911.
Mm-hmm.
Explained to them that someone come in, and that I found her, and that she could possibly not be breathing. And then at that point, I just kind of was waiting. I sat in the kitchen, I know. I just kind of went to shut down panic mode. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I needed to do something for her. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I felt like it's my fault because I left her.
You were there with her. You were there for her.
I should have just taken her with me. It was hard.
I've got kids myself. Seem like they're 11 going on 20. Don't beat yourself up over that.
We usually don't leave them. That's why we got them cell phones. We figured if they had the phone, they could at least call if they needed somebody.
So Jade has a cell phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of cell phone she would have?
I'm not sure what kind. For her and Jaden, we just kind of got them the cheap phones just so they had something. But I don't know what kind it is.
A smartphone or a flip phone?
Yeah, a smartphone.
Okay, I just needed kind of a description of it. Sorry.
I don't see flip phones much anymore.
I know, but I don't know what can't get children. So you checked her neck for a pulse, and then you went into the kitchen?
And honestly, I kind of walked around just pacing. But I sat in the kitchen talking to dispatch. Waited while the police got there, and then whenever they got there, they told me to step outside.
At first, Julia's account follows a pattern detectives encounter all the time. She says she left the house, realized she had forgotten something, turned around, returned home, found the front door open, crossed paths with an intruder, and then discovered Jade. On the surface, the sequence appears logical, but one detail immediately stands out. According to Julia, a masked man emerged from the house carrying a large knife, faced with an immediate life-threatening situation. She says her instinct wasn't to run, scream, back away, freeze, or get to safety. Instead, she claims she reached the knife. That detail is significant, not because it's impossible, but because it raises important psychological questions. People can react unpredictably under extreme stress. Fear and panic often produce unexpected behavior. Even so, Julia is describing a stranger wearing a mask and holding a large knife as he exits her home. For most people, the natural survival response would be to create distance. Move away from the weapon, protect themselves, call for help, or escape the danger. Julia says she did the opposite. According to her account, she put herself in direct contact with the most dangerous object of the scene. Then, just as suddenly, the intruder simply ran away. That explanation becomes even more difficult to accept when compared with what she says happened to Jade. Julia's version of events requires detectives to believe that the same person who just violently attacked an 11-year-old child chose not to seriously attack the adult standing directly in front of him. He didn't continue the assault. He didn't force his way past her. He didn't lash out in panic. According to Julia, he simply turned and ran. That doesn't automatically prove her story is false, but it does create a behavioral inconsistency that experienced investigators would notice immediately. Another detail quietly begins to attract attention. Julia says that after the struggle, she went into her bathroom, grabbed a rag, and wiped the blood from her own hands before searching for Jade. At first, that might not seem unusual, but from an investigative standpoint, it raises an important question. If a parent or step-parent returns home knowing an 11-year-old child is alone inside and has just encountered a mass intruder carrying a knife, investigators would normally expect the child to become the immediate priority. Instead, Julia asked detectives to believe something different. According to her account, she entered the house, saw blood throughout the home, and would have immediately realized that Jade, the only child left inside, was likely the victim. Yet before looking for her, Julia says she stopped to clean the blood from her own hands. That detail alone doesn't prove guilt, but it creates another point of tension within her story. In her own version of events, she had enough urgency to physically confront an armed intruder, yet she also had enough time to briefly focus on her own injury before searching for a child who could have been fighting for her life. At this stage, detectives don't challenge that explanation. They don't accuse Julia of lying. Instead, they allow her to continue talking. They're collecting details. They're allowing her to build the very story that the physical evidence will eventually be measured against. That's what makes the stage of the interrogation so important. Julia isn't defending herself against accusations. She's committing herself to a version of events. And once a suspect commits to a story, investigators don't need to argue with it. They simply compare the facts. Every new detail Julia provides, the mysterious man dressed in black, the forgotten bank cards, the trip to Carbondale, and the moments leading up to the 911 call, gives detectives another piece of her timeline to examine. Because if even one part of that timeline cannot withstand scrutiny, the entire intruder story begins to fall apart.
You stepped outside when Marion police got there, but you remained in the house the whole time until...
No, yeah, I was in until they got there.
Okay, all right. And you said you were wearing shoes?
I had on flip-flops.
Okay.
And whenever I kind of like ran through the house, they kind of fell off. So I was barefoot too.
Okay, all right. And then when you were outside, you were barefoot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you were barefoot when I got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and the officer performed CPR on Jade and until the ambulance arrived, is that right?
I don't know. I was outside.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And then, did the officer hand you a blanket, or did you grab that on your
No, they gave me the blanket. I grabbed the towel in my hand.
Is that when you went into your bathroom?
Yeah, I went in after my hand was cut. I went in to wipe it real quick, kept rag on it, and then I went to go find Jade.
Okay. And was that the red rag that you were holding when I got there? Okay. All right. And then, you said you had gone to Carbondale to get groceries? Is that where
I was Christmas shopping, yeah.
Okay. So that's not where you normally go for groceries?
No, I usually shop in town for groceries in Marion.
All right. But do you know what time you left today?
I don't know what time it was, honestly. Okay. I'm not real sure.
All right. And were you booking, when was it that you realized you didn't have your cards?
When I got to Walmart, pulled out my purse, and I was checking my phone, and that's when I realized I didn't have any of my cards with me.
Okay. And then you came back home?
Yeah.
Okay.
What vehicle did you drive to the Walmart?
My car.
Is that the one that was in the driveway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pathfinder.
Okay.
The gray, is it gray?
Yeah.
Pathfinder? Okay. And then, so you can't remember much of a description of the suspect?
No, not much. That's descriptive.
Did he say anything to you?
No.
Did he say anything like move, get out of the way?
No, he didn't say anything.
Anything at all?
No.
Okay.
No words were spoken?
No.
Did he have anything else in his hands? Like, did he steal something from the house?
I didn't see anything. That would have been stolen.
Okay.
Just the knife was all that I saw.
And then you and Craig, live there at that residence, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is it a rental or is that your house?
It's our house.
Your house? Okay. Is it in you and Mike's name?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then, and his name is Gregory Mike Beasley?
Is it Mike or Michael?
Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got, I think you saw we had one K-9 unit out there. We've also got other, I didn't know if you'd seen that. We have one K-9 unit out there before you left and were brought over here. And we've got other K-9 units that are still in the area looking for this individual. We're trying to get as good of a description of him as possible. So that's why I was asking so many questions about, you know, clothing or if he spoke or did you happen to see any hair, facial or head hair on the individual?
Eyebrows, like a blondish brown.
Okay.
Dark, kind of.
Could you see what color his eyes were?
I don't remember, no.
Alright, but you could only see the eyes through the ski mask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe the ski mask? Was it only open here? Is it one of them that, like, the mouth's open? But...
No, just eyes open.
Okay.
So it was a full open eye area or just two eye holes?
No, full open eye.
Okay.
Across.
Alright. And then you said he was a little bit taller than you?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me how tall you are?
5 foot.
Okay, so he was a little over 5 foot, possibly?
Mm-hmm.
And you said he was muscular build?
Like average, a little muscular maybe, but it kind of looked like a jacket or a hoodie, so I don't know if maybe that kind of played into it too,
Okay.
but kind of what it looked like.
Okay. Do you know of Jade to have any altercations with anybody recently?
No, I mean, she's 11. Unless she's talked to her dad about anything, but she hasn't said anything to me. She seems like she's doing good in school and everything. Like, she doesn't seem like she's having any type of problems with anybody.
Okay.
So I just don't know.
All right.
Is she going to school, like actually going to the building, or is she doing that remote learning?
No, she's in person learning.
Has she mentioned any arguments with friends, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
When you got back to the house, and you said the door was shut?
The front door was open,
okay.
The screen door was shut.
Okay. Can you describe, like, when you made contact with the guy that was running from the house? Just, like, well, did you just push it? Was there a fight?
It was, as soon as I opened the screen door, it was almost like he was leaving, but he ran into me at that time, so I just kind of tried to stop him, tried to grab the knife, do anything. But yeah, it was basically as I was opening the door, he was coming out.
Okay.
So the altercation between you and him was in the doorway area, right inside the doorway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And there were no words spoken at that time?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Has Jade had no other issues at school or any issues at home between her mom or her dad? Is she really close? Who's she close to?
I say she's probably closer with her dad, but I don't really know how she is when she's with her mom either, so I'm not sure. I mean, she's probably real close with them both. But, I mean, no issues, nothing between either of them.
Okay. All right. So you don't know of any issues at school or at home?
No.
And she stays with you guys how often?
Every other week.
Okay. All right. Do you know if she has any boyfriends or any boys that are interested in her, or if she's been talking to anyone?
Not that I know of, but she would have said something to us, I'm sure, if she was talking or interested in a boy, but that might be something she might have talked more with her mom. Whenever she's at our house, she does still talk with me about things, but I feel like sometimes she just wants to talk to her dad about it instead of me, which is understandable.
Daddy's girl.
Yeah. When me and Mike started dating, her and Jaden were both 4, so I think she kind of was attached to him, and I just kind of came in, so I think it kind of wasn't someone to talk to all the time. She always just go to him to talk if needed.
When did you and Mike start dating?
In 2013.
Okay. Did the male still have the knife when he ran away?
I don't know, because he just kind of ran past me,
okay.
And at that point I just went in.
Okay.
I really didn't even turn around to look where he was or anything. I just went into the house.
Okay. Didn't know if he maybe dropped it in the doorway or threw it or something that you may have seen?
No, it wasn't in the house. I didn't see it, like in the doorway, so I don't know.
Okay.
Do you remember which hand he had the knife in?
The right hand.
It was his right hand?
Yes.
Okay. And you grabbed that knife?
Yes. I went to grab it with this hand first and then struggled with this one.
Okay. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And he didn't say anything to you while you were...
No, nothing.
In altercation with him?
No.
Okay.
Did you say anything to him?
No, my first reaction was to try to stop him.
When you went to Walmart, did you go into Walmart?
No, I didn't even get out, because that's when I went to check my phone, and realized I didn't have any of my cards with me.
Okay. But you were in the parking lot?
Yeah, just in the parking lot.
Okay.
And which Walmart was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Carbondale.
Okay.
And you were there to go Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know about what time you left to go to Carbondale?
I'm not sure, honestly, what time it was.
Okay.
Did you go anywhere else before you went to Walmart?
No.
When you left the house?
Just to Walmart.
Just to Walmart.
Did you have to stop and get gas or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Just trying to think of the time frame that this guy may have showed up. So I'm just trying to see what that window is. And so you pull into Walmart, realize you don't have your cards. You say you checked your phone.
Just see if I had messages or anything.
Okay.
And then turned around and went back.
Okay. Kind of had one of those forget my card moments.
Yeah.
I had one of those the other day. Then went back, and that's when, okay.
Yeah.
And when you left the house, was Jade asleep, or was she up and around?
She was asleep. That's why I let her just stay, because I didn't want to wake her up to bring her with me. So I just let her sleep.
Did you leave her a note or anything, or?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I didn't know if you had or not. Do you normally leave her a note, or?
No, usually we'll send them a text or something, which I was meant to do when I got to Carbondale, and I think I just kind of lost track and thought the cards and turned around.
Okay, all right. So you obviously weren't planning on being gone too long?
Not real long, no. Just wanted to do some quick shopping, just grab a few more things.
Okay.
By this point in the interview,
most of the time,
detectives
no,
are following a very deliberate strategy. They aren't accusing Julia. They aren't confronting her with evidence. Instead, they're carefully breaking her story down into individual pieces, turning every seemingly insignificant detail into something that can later be verified. Her shoes, the path she took through the house, the towel, the bathroom, her vehicle, the trip to Walmart, the time she left, whether she stopped anywhere along the way, even whether Jade was awake before she left. None of these questions sound particularly confrontational, but together, they quietly limit the room Julia has to change or adjust her story later. One detail, in particular, begins to stand out. Julia confirms that she was barefoot inside the house. She explains that her flip-flops came off as she ran to the home, and that she remained barefoot by the time officers arrived. On its own, that may seem insignificant, but investigators know that in a crime scene involving extensive blood evidence, footwear and the absence of it can become critically important. They aren't simply listening to Julia's account. They're reconstructing her movements. Where did she walk? What did she step in? What evidence could have been transferred from one room to another? If her description of those movements doesn't match the physical evidence, what appears to be a minor detail suddenly becomes another weakness in the timeline. The detectives also return to another point Julia has already mentioned, the towel in the bathroom. Once again, she says that after the alleged struggle with the intruder, she went into the bathroom, wiped her injured hand, kept a rag on it, and only then went to look for Jade. By now, that detail is no longer an offhand remark. It has been repeated, reinforced, and firmly established as part of a version of events. And that matters, because once a suspect repeats the same detail multiple times, it becomes far more difficult to later explain away or change it. If forensic evidence eventually suggests that the bathroom played a role in cleanup, blood transfer, or staging, Julia has already placed herself there before calling for help. The detectives also spend time carefully examining Julia's trip to Walmart and Carbondale. Once again, they aren't challenging her story. They're building a timeline that can be independently verified. Julia says she drove to Walmart, never went inside, remained in the parking lot, realized she had forgotten her bank cards, checked her phone, and immediately turned around. She also says she didn't stop anywhere else. She didn't get gas. And she doesn't remember what time she left home. Rather than confronting those claims, the detectives make the conversation feel relaxed. One investigator even jokes about having his own forgot my card moment. It may sound like a casual conversation, but it's a deliberate interview technique. By lowering the tension, investigators encourage Julia to continue committing herself to the same version of events. The problem for any fabricated timeline is that modern investigations don't rely on memory alone. They rely on phone records, surveillance cameras, traffic routes, digital timestamps, and vehicle movement. Julia isn't simply telling detectives that she drove to Walmart. She's given them a destination, a travel route, a reason for going, and an explanation for why she returned home. Every one of those details can be independently verified. And if the Walmart trip didn't happen exactly the way Julia described it, then the forgotten bank card stopped looking like an innocent mistake and began to look like part of an alibi.
When was the last time you spoke to Jade?
She was awake this morning. maybe 8 o'clock or so. She ate breakfast, and then she goes in her room. They usually sit in on their phones and games and stuff, so I just kind of let her stay in. Before I left, I looked in the door. She was sleeping, so I just went ahead and left.
Okay. And can you describe where Jade's bedroom is in the house?
Like, how do you mean? Like, just
can you describe
walk in from the front door?
Yeah.
You walk in, go through the front room, through the kitchen, and then her bedroom's the first one on the left.
Okay. All right. And then where do you have other children, correct?
Yes.
And who are the other children that live there in the house with you?
My son, and then me and Mike's daughters together, and we go by her middle name too, but first name.
Okay. What's your son's name? Okay. How?
He's 10, almost 11.
With his father, is
yes.
that right? And he's been there since yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. And are with Mike's parents?
Yes.
Okay. So at any time did you wash your hands? Have you washed your hands since?
I rinsed them in the sink after I got into the house. And
okay.
Then I put the rag on it real quick, and then that's when I went to go find Jade.
Okay. And that was in your bathroom?
In the master bathroom.
Okay. All right. Because we're going to try to see if we can get some DNA. I'm sure we called in ISP crime scene to come process the house, for possible, DNA. We're going to need DNA from you, as well as, Jade and every other member of the home.
Hoping this guy
yeah.
picked something up, touched something. Did it look like he had gloves on, or could you see his hands?
No, I couldn't see his hands.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what type of gloves, but it did look like gloves.
Okay. Did it look like light-colored gloves, dark-colored gloves?
They were dark as well.
Okay.
And when you confronted him there in the doorway, that's when your hands got cut?
Yes.
From the blade of the knife? All right.
As you were heading back to the house, did you notice any unusual vehicles parked anywhere on the road? Any of them that may have stood out that you're like, I've never seen that one before in this area?
No, I didn't see anything parked on sides of the road or anything like that. Nothing unusual.
Okay.
No cars at the ballpark or?
No.
Okay.
Is there ever anybody over at that ballpark?
Yeah, people do actually park over there quite often. Usually it's like teens and stuff, but.
But you didn't notice any when you left or when you came back?
No, I didn't see anything.
Okay. Did you notice anything unusual at any of the neighbors' houses around the area? Or?
No, not anything at neighbors' houses, no.
Okay.
Do you hear any arguing in any of the neighbors' houses?
No, and it's kind of hard to hear. They're far apart, but no, not anything.
Are you guys pretty close to any of the neighbors in the neighborhood, or?
Well, Mike's parents own the land. His great aunt used to live out there before she passed. So they kind of know some of the neighbors as family, but I don't personally. But they do.
Okay. All right. So was it like a family farm kind of?
It's sort of. She didn't really have a farm. She just lived out there. She had horses at one point that I know of, but that was about it.
Okay. And are the dogs always kept in the backyard?
They're either in the house or in the backyard. I had let them out whenever I left. They needed to go out for the day, but I didn't let them back in.
Okay. Yeah, they're still out when we left the house. Do they have food and water around back?
No, just food and water in the house.
Okay, all right. Do they stay in at night?
Yeah.
And how many dogs is there?
Just 2.
What kind of dogs are they?
Smokey, we're not really sure. I know he's got Rottweiler in him. That's about it. Rocky is an Aussie healer shepherd.
They're pretty good with kids, I'm guessing, since you have a household.
Yeah.
Where do they sleep at? Inside the house?
Yeah.
Like where at? Just anywhere they can?
Yeah, pretty much.
And my dogs always want to jump in my daughter's bed and sleep at her feet. Washing the sheets all the time. There's dog hair everywhere.
Do they have dog beds in the house, or?
We did actually just get one, like giant pillow for them, a week ago maybe. But that most of the time they sleep on the couch.
Oh, okay. Okay.